Hello, Niblings. I'm Eklinaar.
I'm Cowardlyninja.
And we're playing Stars in Shadow. Now, this is a single-player game. This is a 4X game. That's the name of the genre. 4X stands for Explore, Expand, Exploit, and Exterminate. Which those are the four main, I guess, elements of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Is that you have to explore, and kind of a relatively unknown world. You have to expand the growth, the borders of your civilization. You have to exploit the resources you find.
Mm-hmm.
That's what exploit means, not
take advantage
other kinds of exploit. And then you may have to, or choose to, exterminate other civilizations you find, or be attacked with the intent of being exterminated.
Intense.
So, although I often play on the peaceful side, so we'll see. Alright, so Stars in Shadow is very much like the game Masters of Orion, for those of you who know about game history. It's honestly quite similar in a lot of ways, just kind of a more modern take. So this is a galaxy. It's a relatively small galaxy. It's, like a little globular cluster or something.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my star system here.
The cabs.
Yep. So here you can see it's got 4 notable planets. They only show planets like worth mentioning, really. So like there could be, little asteroids or whatever, but they're not going to bother showing those. So the 4th planet here is the inhabited one. Bacabs is an ice ball planet.
Ooh.
So very much like Europa in our solar system. It's a planet like that. It's far away from the sun. Generally, when you see the solar system view like this, the 2 closer planets to the star will be warm, and the 2 farther planets will be cold. Not always, but that's the kind of the general rule of thumb.
Oh, I'm glad they actually thought about that.
Yeah.
I didn't actually know.
So it's pretty far out from its star. It's an ice ball. It doesn't have an atmosphere. You can see in here atmosphere none. And
yet
we are playing the Orphan,
Oh.
who are this like deep sea pill bug like
I love them.
horseshoe crab like creature.
That don't require an atmosphere, I suppose.
Yes, they are water dwelling.
Oh, neat.
And so it says here in the description, the Orthrin are come from a chemosynthetic biome.
Oh.
So that means that there are many undersea vents, volcanic vents, and life has evolved around those vents.
I see.
There's no, or at least not very much photosynthesis on this planet. So the Orthrin are unusual compared to other life in the galaxy, and it's one of the reasons I wanted to play them.
Yeah, they
So
sure
they
are.
dwell, you see it has these 2 climate zones. They dwell in the Vents climate zone. So if we find other planets with the Vents climate zone, so we can see there are 2 other planets in the system. There's Bacabs 2, which only has the airless climate zone.
Yep.
And there's Bacabs 1, which only has the Inferno climate zone. So Bacabs 2 is very much like our moon. Bacabs 1 is very much like Venus. That's kind
What's
of
this
the idea.
giant one here?
It's a gas giant. You can't do anything with gas giants.
Oh, interesting. They're just pretty.
Yeah, or at least you can't do anything with them right now.
Okay.
So yeah, we have our planet. So we have a farm, a factory, and a mine on the planet, and we're currently creating 24 labor, 3 coin. I forgot we just call it coin. 6 metal, 1 food. This, by the way, this 1 food, this is 1 excess food.
Oh, that's
It's 1
helpful.
food beyond what the population is currently consuming.
I see.
and 6 science.
Neat.
So those are the core resources of the game. We will need more of all of those. Labor is local. The others are global. So labor is specific to the planet. A planet produces labor. That labor remains on the planet. The others are all shared by the whole empire. With food being a semi-exception. But I'll get into that later.
Exciting.
Okay, so we need to pick production. So I've played this game some.
These ships, look at them.
They have very like bug-looking ships. Yeah, it's
so
it's
fun.
pretty cool. Yeah, there's a lot I like about this game. So here are some of the main buildings. We will end up with other buildings later.
Okay.
I've played this game a good bit, and I've learned that the first building that I always need is another farm.
More food. Gotta get that food.
Because the population is going to grow. See, I'm at 6 million.
Yep.
This is plus 150,000 every turn.
Oh, wow.
Or at least for the next turn. Population growth will fluctuate.
Okay. So that just tells you upcoming. You're about to gain.
So I'm going to need more food. Alright, so I've chosen something to build here. I'm also going to choose a factory because generally you need extra production on your starting world.
And that's labor, right?
So I've queued it, right? So it's building the farm now. After it's done the farm, the factory's in the queue.
I see.
So a lot going on. This is a bit complicated, but that's 4X games for you. 4X games are very complicated.
I was gonna say this interface is less intimidating than some other 4X games.
This is a simple 4X game. We have played one other 4X game on this channel, Ozymandias.
Oh yes.
Now, Ozymandias is, I believe, perhaps the simplest 4X game ever created, or if not the simplest, then very close to it.
Right. And it's hard, nevertheless.
It's very hard.
Yeah.
This game is not as hard. Ozymandias is punishingly hard. It is really, really challenging.
I remember we almost won, but we didn't.
Yeah.
We ended up losing. We just lost.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to the Galaxy menu. So on the right side of the screen here will be alerts telling me things I need to do in my turn. This is a turn-based game, like Ozymandias. And I believe Ozymandias had an alert system too.
I think they did. Do all 4X games have little alert systems? And
most.
Okay.
Yeah, most do.
Are they turn-based, all of them, or are there some exceptions?
There are 4X games that are not turn-based.
Interesting. Okay.
I pretty much only play for turn-based ones.
You like turn-based games, though, in general, I think, it seems.
Yeah. So this is saying...
Technologist dances with bosons?
Yeah, that's his name.
I love this.
Technologist is his title. So yeah, he wants us to choose research. This is the research tech tree. This is pretty standard for a 4X game. Honestly, on the small side compared to some other 4X games I've played.
If you say so.
Okay, so there's a lot going on. The idea is we start on the left. So any text in green we already have.
Okay.
With the text of the name itself.
Does that vary if you like started as someone else? Is that...
Yes. What text you start with vary based on which species you are.
Gotcha.
So this is what the Orthrins start with. So the icons tell you what field it is, and you get bonuses and penalties for the different fields. I don't remember what the Orthrin get a bonus for, actually. It might be computing, information field.
Interesting.
But
those pill bugs, they're information technologists.
Yes, the Orthrin, their specialty is that they produce more science.
Yeah, everyone's worried about the AI reckoning. We should be worrying about the pill bugs.
Yeah. So when the text is in white, it means you can research it.
Okay.
When the text is in blue, it means you can't research it yet.
Ah, you need like something.
You need some sort of prerequisite. You see all these lines, right?
Yeah.
So I can research boarding tactics because I already have military doctrine. Right? I can research market theory because I already have trade fleets. If I wanted to research alien psychology, I would need to research xenology first.
I see. So these are all like things that modify something that you're doing,
Yep,
right?
every single one of these.
Yeah.
So you can see xenology unlocks science stations.
Oh, I see.
It's a ship component.
Yeah.
Right? Market theory unlocks markets, which is another building that we'd be able to build.
I see.
Which I will definitely want relatively soon. So I'm going to do containment fields. I'm not going to spend a lot of time dwelling on this for now, but containment fields will increase trade ship cargo capacity by 50%. That's going to be important later. I will explain later.
This one's the expert.
I set research. Alright, so we've done all of our alerts. Now, we have a fleet of ships. We have a colony ship, a transport, and an exploration vessel. Now, we don't really have anything to do with the colony ship or the transport yet, so I'm just going to send the exploration vessel out. And this is the range of the exploration vessel.
In one turn, its range, or just
no?
Its range in general.
This is its logistics range. If it goes farther than the circle, it will not be able to get back to get more supplies.
Oh, I see.
Right?
Okay.
You will be lost in space if you go farther than that.
Oh my. Well, we don't want that.
Yeah. So the ships will refuse to go outside this range.
Oh, okay, so you can't do it by accident.
You can't send them outside this range.
So that's helpful.
So these are the systems I can explore. Now you'll notice there's a rather large gap here. So it will be difficult for me to get to these systems beyond that gap.
Right.
So I can go kind of up this arm here or in this direction.
Well, if it's hard for you to go upward, then it's probably hard for anyone else who maybe you haven't met yet to come downward.
Probably.
Right?
For now.
For now.
Later in the game, it will become easier to cross these big distances. Alright, so I'm going to go here.
Now, there are different colors.
Yes, those are the colors of the stars, which correspond to real-life star colors.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Sizes too, like that's a red giant.
Yeah.
Right? The Cabs is a... Does it tell me?
You don't get to know.
Well, it's a yellow star.
Yeah.
Yellow star. G-type. So, here it says 3 turns for the exploration vessel to get there. Alright. We're finally done with turn 1.
And it only gets more complicated from here, I imagine.
The next few turns will go quickly, because I'm not... So, the AI did its turns. So now 2 turns to get to the star. I don't have anything else to do. No alerts came up. I don't have anything different I want to tell my ships. So, just gonna keep hitting next turn.
But I guess if something happened, then perhaps you would have to respond.
Alright, so now we're 3 turns in. We have come to another system. We have detected signs of intelligent life in the Arrakis system. So there is a species. Now, what this means is there is a sentient species detected in this system, but they are not space-dwelling.
Oh,
They're not
I see.
space-faring.
Right.
They're not advanced enough to have their own ships, so they're at a much lower tech level than we are.
Or they have sense.
They're pre-space age.
Gotcha.
Right? Because we're a civilization capable of interstellar flight, right? Which, right, in real life, we haven't even figured out how to leave our solar system.
Yeah.
Except for a couple of probes, right?
Not humans, yeah.
Yeah. In this game, the Orthren have figured out how to leave their solar system.
Cool.
So,
Pillbugs.
So these creatures they found, there's a planet called Waterless. The creatures call themselves the Spice Mongers.
I love that.
And this is what they look like up here. They're these big desert-dwelling creatures with these big fins.
Oh my gosh. I love them.
They look kind of insectoid as well.
Natural alliance, alright?
So here's their planet.
They're like little snails or crabs?
Yeah, they're like little snail crab-like things. Yeah,
I love them.
with tentacles or something.
Oh my gosh.
So now the only climate zone on their planet is arid. I can't live in an arid planet, so we will be leaving them alone for now.
All right. Oh, for now.
However, these other 2 planets in their system are very interesting. This is an ocean planet. Now, an ocean planet, well, first of all, this is an ice ball planet, much like our home world. So our colonists would probably feel pretty comfortable on this world. It's got a vents biome.
Ooh, excellent.
Right?
That's what you want.
It's just like our home world. It's airless and vents.
Yeah.
And the Orthrin dwell in the vents climate zone, not the airless climate zone. Now, on this planet, it's an ocean world. It's got an ocean climate zone and a vents climate zone. So they can live on this world, even though it's very unlike their home world. They can still settle on these vents, in these vents climate zones, deep under the ocean.
Very cool.
So, most species that you play in this game will be more human-like, but I picked the weirdos for this. Okay, so I just have my exploration vessel here. Yeah, I just have this. I can't do anything with this alert.
You just know.
I just know, yeah. But very good to know. So there are 2 planets I can inhabit here. So I have my colony ship here that already has 1 million colonists on it.
Oh, they're ready to go.
Yep, they're ready to go. So I'm gonna send the colony ship there. Now, what I'm also going to do, I have this transport. I'm going to embark another 1 million Orthrin on that transport and send them as well.
Oh, okay.
So a colony ship is needed to establish a colony on a new world. But to simply send more inhabitants, a transport works just fine.
Oh, okay.
But you need the colony ship for the first settlers.
I see. Interesting.
Because the colony ship carries infrastructure.
Yeah, so you have stuff to build the colony with.
Yeah, basically the colony ship lands on the planet and they disassemble the colony ship and turn it into the colony.
Okay, okay.
So the scout ship has nothing else to do here. I'm going to send it up here.
Alright.
Alright, so we're going to skip a couple more turns. We've got an alert here. Construction complete. The farm is complete. I'm now at +5 food.
Nice.
See, these are my global reports up here.
Yeah, so you can see
left.
them even when you're not in this screen. You can see them.
So, yeah, +5 is very good. And it is now building the factory. 13 turns.
Approximately. I see that tilde there.
Yes. Alright, so I'm going to skip a couple turns. Alright, so now I can colonize 2 worlds here.
Ooh.
Alrakis 2 or Alrakis 4. Now, normally I would pick Alrakis 4. It's the most like the home world.
Right.
They'll be the most comfortable there. But in this case, Alrakis 2 has a special resource. Artifacts.
Oh.
Artifacts generate extra science per research lab.
Ooh.
I want to turn Alrakis 2 into a research world. So, and since I get an advantage on science production in the first place, I want to really push that advantage. So I'm going to colonize Alrakis 2.
Okay.
And I can colonize both eventually, but I have to pick one because I only have one colony ship.
Right, like you said, the colony ship gets dismantled, so you have to, I assume, build a new one to then bring over.
Yes. So now, food shortage. We don't have enough transports in the trade pool. So Alrakis, you'll notice, Alrakis 2 is not producing food. Because there are no buildings.
Right, I suppose that makes sense.
So, here, before I build stuff.
Oh, I see your little green thing has expanded now since
Yes, I now have a border there. The borders of my civilization have expanded.
Love it.
So, here. I can do it. There's 2 ways I can do this. I want to disembark the colonists from my transport. So I can click on the transport here, go to ship information, and click disembark colonists. Or I can click on the planet itself, and just because there's a transport ship in orbit, I have a disembark button right here.
Oh, that's nice.
So I'm just going to do that, disembark. So now I have 2 million who are all starving.
Oh my gosh.
Now...
You're like, oh, food shortage? How about more of you to make it
now,
worse?
I have this empty transport now.
You do.
So what I'm going to do here is say, start trading. So what happens here, this is a mechanic... it's not unique to this game, but not a lot of games have this mechanic. So the ship entered my trade pool. These are transports that are actively doing trade between my own planets.
I see. I don't see it anymore to click on.
I can't interact with it anymore. I can click here and pull it out of the trade pool. If I want, right here, recall to star. To pull it out of the trade pool. But I want it in the trade pool because you may notice they are not starving anymore. Because one of the things the transport is transporting is food. Now notice my food consumption went down from +5 to +3.
Yes.
Because they're transporting to food from Bacabs to Arrakis.
I see.
So...
And it just does that indefinitely unless you tell it not to or something goes wrong?
Yes. Transports... Remember I said food is not quite global? So food is local, basically. But if you have free transports in the transport pool, they will distribute food from planets with surplus to planets with a deficit.
Very helpful.
So you can have planets feed other planets as long as your trade pool's big enough.
That's helpful. You don't have to manage that. You can just say, hey, you do it.
Yes. And so I don't really want Arrakis to be focusing on producing food. Also notice their fertility is low.
So not good for growing things.
Yeah. Whereas on the Cabs, their fertility is high. So they get a bonus to food production.
I see.
So Arrakis, or so Bacabs is going to produce all the food for Arrakis for now.
You gonna set up a farming planet? Is that
I will probably set up a farming planet.
I see.
For example, Arrakis 4 has high fertility. So I may set up Arrakis 4 as a farming planet.
Okay.
I haven't decided yet. We'll see. We'll see what other planets we discover. So I still need to pick production. I'm going to pick a factory for now.
Okay.
But we're going to focus on labs.
Is a factory something kind of that everybody needs? Or are there certain buildings that you don't need for certain planets? Or does it depend?
You don't need any building for any planet.
Oh, okay.
You can have a planet without any one of the buildings. It helps to specialize planets, at least later on.
Okay.
It doesn't make a huge difference early, but especially since Arrakis gets this science bonus, I want to specialize them in labs. Now the factory is going to help them produce stuff on their own. Notice Arrakis 2's labor is 4. Bacab 4's labor is 24.
Yeah.
It's largely because of the factory.
I see.
Right? The factory is producing
more labor.
Half of that labor.
I see.
Yeah. Factories effectively like double the labor of a planet.
Okay.
Up to an extent.
Right.
And then there's tech that makes them even better. Okay, how are we on time?
We have probably 5-6 minutes.
Okay. We can get a few more turns in.
Sounds good.
Hopefully things will go a little faster. Alright. Another system. Proxima. We have detected more native life. This is a little unusual to detect native life in both of the first 2 systems of
yeah.
They are on the planet Tarabor. They call themselves the Tarib.
Okay.
Tarabor is an inferno planet. So it's a Venus-like planet.
Oh, look at these little guys.
Yeah. So they live on this inhospitable planet. Now again, I can't do anything with this planet, so we're going to be leaving them alone for now. And also, the only other planet in the system is this gas giant.
Big.
Yep. Looks a lot like Uranus or Neptune. It's more like Neptune. Neptune has bigger rings than Uranus, I think.
I believe that's right.
So yeah, there's nothing I can do in the system for now.
You can admire how cute they are.
Yep. So yeah, but yeah, they could be useful because they live in the Inferno. Now I happen to know this is the only species that can live in the Inferno biome.
Oh, I see.
The only species in the game. Now these are both what's called minor species. I'll go more into that later.
I assume it's something to do with what you were explaining before, that they're not necessarily spacefaring, that they just kind of hang out.
Yeah, they have not created a spacefaring civilization, which is why they're minor species.
Gotcha.
Alright, so now we've got a bunch of alerts here. First of all, we finished containment fields. Now you may notice my trade capacity went from 3 of 10 to 6 of 10.
Oh.
Because containment fields increases at the trade capacity of each individual transport considerably. So that's why I researched it. Because now, instead of needing 4 transports to max out my trade pool, I only need 2.
Very nice.
Okay, so...
Time to pick something else.
Yep, I'm gonna pick something else. I'm gonna pick artificial organisms, because this will upgrade my farms.
Ooh, very nice.
It'll take a little while to research. Alright, so we found a derelict craft.
Oh, okay.
An abandoned vessel. We're not familiar with its configuration, but it was constructed by technology more advanced than our own. So we can either study it for 80 science or scrap it for 250 coins. I'm going to study it.
Yeah, I think.
Almost always pick study.
I guess you'd only pick scrap it if you were really, really needing that coin. For
Yeah,
reason.
now the money would be useful.
Sure.
It would be pretty useful, especially this early in the game. Because something I can do with that money, I can buy the factory here. I can rush production of the factory.
I see.
I'm going to want to do that eventually. Because rushing production, especially on a planet that's getting established, buying a factory really makes a big difference in how quickly that planet gets its infrastructure built up.
Right. Which can be good, especially if you start, I assume, meeting more people and maybe they are a little hostile.
Yeah, exactly. So, Thuban 1, an island planet. So again, island planets have the Vents climate zone, which I can live in.
Very
Now it
nice.
also has one we haven't seen before, the Reef climate zone. Which
lovely.
I don't. Yeah, the Orthan don't. The Orthan don't like the Reef zone. They really only like the Vent zone. There's no other zone the Orthan like. Where some species like a variety of zones. They're
like, I'll be
live in
good
several.
here, or I'll be good there.
Yeah.
Place me wherever.
So I could potentially settle here. Now it's got a special modifier too, mineral poor minerals. So mines don't do well here. So great candidate for a farm planet. Also notice its max population considerably higher than these two over here. This has a max population of 5. This has a max population of 6.
Okay.
This planet, Thuban, has a max population of 13.
Wow.
So I think this is going to become my farming planet.
Okay.
Alright, so we can now reach this star over here thanks to colonizing Arrakis. So, going to work on that.
Alright. We're coming up to end of time soon.
Okay. So, I completed the factory here. We're running low on food, so I'm going to build one more farm.
Okay.
And after that, colony ship, probably.
Makes sense. Ooh. So next episode, we'll see some expansion, huh?
Yep. So yeah, farm's complete. I'm going to start the colony ship.
Aha!
Let's go ahead and get to this system.
Nice.
Achilles. So we've got a ice ball planet. A big ice ball planet, in fact. Max population of 12, which I believe, yeah, almost as big as Bacaps.
Wow.
So
Very
that's
nice.
going to be a very good planet to settle, too. There's also this Inferno planet here with mineral bonuses.
Ooh.
Which means mines will be very, very good. on this planet. So we should probably settle this planet pretty soon. It also has high fertility.
Huh.
So this could also be a good farm planet.
Right. Lots of options.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna stop here. So tune in next time. We're gonna do a full playthrough of this game. Stars and Shadow usually doesn't take too long to play through. Usually if I'm just sitting playing through it by myself, I can play through a whole game in 3 or 4 hours. So we should get, around 10 episodes.
Awesome. Let's see what happens next.
All right, see you then.
Bye.